Sit. Good. Always have him sit first before you send him to the mat. With your right hand, pat his chest and say, go to your mat. And you want to walk over with him like that and say, down. But he knows what he does every time. Since dogs learn and behave situationally, the situation is the same every time. He knows that we send him to the mat and he's going to go down. That's why he'll go down before you even say it. But say it anyway, because when he's not on the mat in real life, out in public, you're going to have to say down and he's going to go down. So even if he starts to go down first, say it anyway. Stay is built into down, so we don't say stay at all. It's not necessary. What we teach him to do is we teach him to wait for the release command so that you don't have to say anything but the D-O-W-N word one time, and then if it's 5 minutes, he's waiting for 5 minutes for you to release him. You don't have to say stay at all. And as you can see, I'm walking around both ways around him, walking farther away, coming back, and he gets a reward. He's been really good and stayed there, so he gets a reward. Good. Make sure that you put the reward on the mat. He's not supposed to touch your hand or anything. You put it there, deposit the reward, withdraw, he takes it off the mat. So do it overhand like this. Do it in a calm way. So watch the way I'm doing it. Good. Really put it there. And so you don't want to be going good or moving fast or anything like that, because he'll only be as calm on this mat as you are when you're doing this with him. So the calmer you are and the more deliberate your movements are, the more focused you are, the more focused he's going to be. So we can do things like walking. So I drop the leash because we're in a fenced yard, so I can walk farther away, practice his downstay, do bigger circles. I can go outside the fence here. If you're ever going to do something that's difficult for him to handle, it's okay to remind him what you want him to keep doing. So it's okay, if you're going to try something really hard, you can say down to remind him what to keep doing. So that would be really hard for him, because usually when he's loose in the yard, I'm coming in and out of this doorway. And see how he got up? You say, if he makes a mistake, you say no. Stay calm. Pick up the leash. If he hasn't already gone back on his own, put him back, step on the leash, go back, do it again. You may have to do this sort of thing, depending on what you're doing, 3 times, but you do it the same way every time, and he's going to get it that it's going to be the same way every time, and he might as well give in and do it the right way, and then guess what? He gets rewarded. So it just gets better as you keep doing it. Down. So I might have to do that. This is tough for him to do. No. See? Stay calm, just do the same move every time. He needs to know it's going to go the same way every time. You might as well give up, because we'll be here all day unless he plays the game right. Down. Okay, that's where he made the mistake 2 times in a row. He did it successfully, so I'm coming back. Big payoff, handful of food, because he did it successfully. Good. And if you do something like that, and he makes a mistake 2 times in a row, and then the 3rd time he does it right, you're good for the day. Like, that's what you end on, because you end on a big success like that, and the next day he'll be a little bit better. You never want to overdo anything. So maybe finish the exercise by doing a couple of simple things, a little bit more, just things that he can have little successes at, he can get rewards for. Good. Walking around and having around behind him and having him accept you're walking around him and not popping up. Having a downstay like that is fairly unusual, unfortunately. Good. These days, most dogs, people think their dogs are trained, but they can't even do a basic downstay. So he's got a really good downstay, solid. You can also practice little things like down, pulling on the leash. Most dogs, when you pull on the leash, they'll get up and come to you. Good. But he's waiting for me to stand next to him to give him the release command to get up. That's the only way he'll leave. So there's a whole bunch of stuff you can practice. You can make things up on your own. But he's doing pretty good. So one last reward. Good. And then the way you release him is you stand next to him, hold the leash like you're going to walk him, pat your leg and say, okay, okay, and then have him sit. And he gets released from a calm sit stay. Never release him off out of the down stay and have him take off. He's still on the clock until he sits. Release him from a calm sit stay, because if you don't do that, he'll be very anticipatory and waiting for you to release him, and he'll launch off the mat and run off, and you're not going to get that effect of being really calm coming out of this exercise. So from a calm sit stay, pat his chest and say, go. Now he's free.